I wanted to do my around the world nails only, but I saw some lifting on this nail. And since I don't want any greenies, that means I'm gonna go ahead and fill these. I'm not filling this hand until later, but right now we're gonna go ahead and fill these. I've taken a bunch of the bulk down. You can tell from the side. There's not too much of an arch there. And I took that down with my debulking bit. I have a rougher one, but see, if I make a mistake with this, it's like, ow. I make a mistake with the other one, it's like, get the bandages. So we're gonna stick with this one, because if it skips with my non-dominant hand, I'm not being torn up, not like that. Now I use this to get up here, still on the hard gel, not my regular nail, so any lifting I see to kind of feather it back. I'm also doing it on like a speed 4 or 5. When I'm debulking, I go to 20 with that other one. So first I want to come here, because I see some paint has gotten under this. See, there's some paint up under the hard gel there. And you're going to want to keep dusting it away so that you can see if there's any more lifting as you go. Now I'm going to go right here. Let me get you in closer so you can see what I'm doing. Right here on top of the gel. Do not hit your regular nail with this bit. That is not what you want to do. And while it's not very bad, like I didn't need to feel it immediately because of the growth, it's more because of that lifting that I found. And I'm going to go ahead and check them all, because again, I don't want greenies. Had them, don't like them. Now see, this is lighter than right here. This is lifted some. So you just kind of want to take that off and just keep filing until there's no more lifting. Like, if you can't get up under there, you're okay. This has got discoloration up here. And you can see the marks where I debulked. That's not going to matter to me. But what it did do is the few places where I had air bubbles, it got rid of those. See, there's lifting right here, because that's not just on the side, it's up under that gel. And I just keep going until the lifting is completely gone. See how that just chipped right off of there? That's all lifted. I'm not surprised. This is the one that the peel off base coat comes off of fastest. So apparently my pointer finger hits a lot on this hand. You don't want to just grind in one spot either, because first of all, you'll feel the pain. Now if it starts getting too close to my nail, I'll switch to a sanding band for that area. I'm probably going to do that anyways. A little bit right there. Now this is the one that I found. I tried to take care of it with a hand file, and I thought better of that. I said if I don't go ahead and check them all, I'm going to regret it. And like I said, I'm going to do this hand later, either tonight or tomorrow. I'm just trying to get this done so we can do our Paris nails. I was given the two options of Paris or Greece. Well, it said Greek, but I'm pretty sure she meant Greece. Unless she meant Greek food. I'm not sure. But I decided to save Greek for around Halloween time because I'm going to do the ancient Greek gods, all the horrible things that they did. So, you know, tune in for that if you're into the ancient Greek gods. I'm sure we'll tap into the ancient Roman gods as well. I mean, how can you do one without the other? See, there's polish under that gel too. I'm gonna have to come back with my sanding band for that part. Yeah, there's lifting on all of these, so I know these have been sealed in the whole time, but there could be lifting on there, especially since I'm right-handed. Get my sanding band. This is a 240 grit, which if it hits my regular nail, it will be okay. So that's why I use it. I'm going in at 4. All my sanding bands are 240 except for the black ones are 80. And I use that for fake nails, obviously. This lifting right here has got to go. When you're doing a fill with hard gel, it does make it a little easier if you make the transition here, you know, nicer. Because it's always thinner around the edges. Yeah, I'm going to cut these cuticles. They are rather long. What I like to do is take my nippers, lay it right before the cuticle, pull back so that I get just the dead part, because it's not pleasant when you cut your healthy cuticles if you're going to do this step, because this isn't necessary. You don't have to do this. I choose to do this, and since I don't always use the powder, this is my best way of getting it. Oh, missed one. You also want some sharp nippers. You don't want these things to be dull. So I recommend not using your nippers on anything but your cuticles. Now I use my old ones on various things, but my new ones, just cuticles, nothing else. lint-free wipe, alcohol. We'll start with our dehydrator. Finish off with our primer. And cover it with some base once the primer's dried. So, all you're really having to cover up is your natural nail with the primer and dehydrator. I mean, you can put it on the whole nail if you feel the need, but to me it's just a waste of product. Now the next time these nails come up for a fill, I will be completely filing them off. So this is it. And then we'll go in with another hard gel color. Or I might be doing some press-ons. Don't know. We'll see. Now, you can take this base gel and go all the way down the gel, but gel sticks to gel, so you don't have to, which is why I am just doing a light coat on the natural nail only. This is rubber base gel. In my opinion, the best I've found so far. And I'm not refilling these nails with the same color. So, if that's gonna bother you, I'm telling you now, it ain't happening. I'm gonna fill them with my favorite color hard gel that I have. It's my favorite color that Lisette Gel Nails has. It's got a similar peach color to it, but not completely the same color. I had to file all the way down here on this nail, so I gotta get all the way down here. So we got our rubber base on there. And again, I'm gonna put these off to the side because I have to do my other hand. And cure that for 60 seconds. And this is my favorite color that she carries. It's got that shimmer in it, but it's like it's hard to describe. It's like a peachy pink type shimmer, but it's really pronounced. Like where this didn't have it really pronounced, this is a super pronounced. So that's what I'm gonna put on top of those. And since I debulked them, I'm hoping this will show through more. Okay, now I do have a whole nother one, but I think this will be plenty what's left in here. See that peachy shimmer? Maybe not. I don't know. It's pretty low. But we're gonna start out with this. I don't know if you can see it. It's still peachy colored, but it's got that shimmer to it. Right now, all I've got to do is put me a slip layer. We're going to start with our thumb. See, it's still peachy. But the shimmer is really pronounced in this. Now I got this gel pretty close to my skin, so it will flood. I don't know what I was going through. I was supposed to do that after I got the product on, but oh well, we're here. See, it's already going into my cuticle because I got it so close. You can see it right there. Now, I'm going to use this to drag this down the side. And I'm going to use this liner to get it in the places that I need it. Now this is where I have to turn it upside down to get my apex, which should be fairly easy because you've already got a semi-structure going on. But you took the bulk down so that the nail wouldn't look too big when adding more. And you get the apex where you need it versus where it was. Not that mine was grown out that much. Alright, application. I was able to do that fill in I think 20-25 minutes. Wasn't bad at all. Now I like to first file down with my 80 grit because the sides are bulged out. I don't like that. And then I go to my 100-180. Then I go to my 5-in-1 to seal the cuticles, and then I buff it out with just your regular old buffer, which is, by the way, I think this is 180. I also have 240, but the 180 is good enough for me for now. I don't feel like getting the 240. And I'm not going to use my dust collector because I'm going to show you how I file. First thing I do is, well, this is a brand new file. I better do this first. Need to score it. That's all it is, to score it. It takes away the sharp edges so you don't cut your skin. I also come and do it on these ends and the corners, just in case, because if you've ever been cut with a file, you'll know what I mean. Now, come on the side, straight up and down. Go that way. You don't want to file too fast or too hard with the 80 because it eats the material pretty fast. So you don't have to do much with it. This is what I use for my shaping. Then I'm going to come under and do this, which is under and come up slight. That's basically it, because like I said, it's bulging on the sides. So some of them bulge a little more than the others, and that's fine. Once you buff the top, that also takes care of some of that bulging. So it's not always going to be just the sides. If I quit filing my finger, file the nail. And naturally, the more product you got on there, the more bulge you're gonna get. I had to put a little extra product on here because it was that glitter nail. Not because it wasn't covering up the glitter, but because since I filed down into the glitter, it was kind of bumpy. So I had to get it down in between the glitters. So I didn't get that too straight on that one. Now I take my 100, 180. I use the 100 side. And from the tip, I go up. Because the shape is already there because I've used hard gel and let it sew where it's going to be. So I'm just thinning out the tips here. That's basically all I'm doing. Because this one basically did it itself. But see, this one's thick. See how thick it is compared to that one. So I'm going to thin out the tips. It's pointed more up than anything. That's still too thick. But to keep that rounded shape, I have to go back and forth. You don't want one side more than the other. You don't want the top flattened down. And that's what I'm gonna do. All right, I buffed them. You know what buffing looks like. And as you can see, since I filed down the bulk, they're not bigger than they used to be. This one's big. I really had to file down that one on this one. So they're not overly big nails because of that. Now I'm going to show you sealing the cuticle just because I'm sure people know what sealing the cuticle looks like, but just in case you don't, because I was confused when I first heard about it. I've got it at a 4. And all you're doing is making sure that it's flush with your nail so there's not a bunch of lifting. And I just follow the whole outline here. I'm not pushing down hard at all. And that's all it is doing. That's it. And before I was like, well, if that's all it's doing, that can't be doing much. It actually does. So it looks silly, but it does wonders for you. The nails really do last doing just this silly, simple little step. Some people seal the cuticles with, sanding bands. I'm not one to say it doesn't work, or it does, but I specifically bought this bit for this, so that's what I'm going to use it for. When I did buff these nails, I also went and buffed under here so there's no sharp edges anywhere. So they're all good to go. All I need to do now is put a peel off base coat on so that I can paint them again. That's it. They're all done, they're all ready. Can't even tell this was a glitter one anymore, unless you look under it. So we're ready to go. All right, so nails are done. I'm going to keep this color and add 2 pinks to like marbleize on there and whatnot. I've also got some Eiffel Towers and some forks that I'll be using. Mold frames, dishes and cups that I'll be making out of a mold, croissants out of a mold, and then I'll also be using this for spaghetti, and this one, the nude color, for meatballs, and various, colors to make it look like what it's supposed to look like. There'll be stickers and all that good stuff. So this is going to be a set. This is Paris. All I can think of is fashion, food, tourist monuments that people like to go look at. Like I said, the Eiffel Tower. And that's all I can think of. And their Sundays, they take very leisurely. And gelato, those types of things. So, I believe that's what we'll be making. Of course, you got your croissants and espresso. That's what the molds are about. So I think we should start with the molds. This peel off base is still drying, and I still have a second coat to put on. So let's start with our molds. I want a croissant, and I'm thinking this would be a good size, but this will be a better size. So I'm going to use my mold nail gel, and we're going to fill that up. And I've got the white. It's easier to paint and color on. It looks better. I can make a croissant myself, but this is obviously going to look better. It's got all the dimples and whatnot the bread has in it. And while we're at it, we can go ahead and make our teacup and plate. I think we'll go with this one. I want our handle on there. But I want this cup to stand up. So I'm gonna do the opposite one so I can just glue them together. And fill up the bottom of this one. And I also need a plate. I think we'll go with a traditional plate here. This is just liquidy enough to go where it needs to. But unlike gel polish, it's sturdy. And whatever is in the mold dries smooth. It doesn't have the dispersion layer on it. So I think we can start curing those for now. So I'm going to cure those for 90 seconds. And yes, I'm going to flip them even though they're not clear. And then we also need a picture frame here. And that is this one. So I think we're gonna go with this one. That should show enough of the picture of the sticker that I have. And I like this mold gel because as the Devil Wears Press On and pointed out, you can get it down in all those little crevices. Just go ahead and take this, clean out that little bit that got in the middle, and cure that at the same time. So like I said, I'm gonna cure it 90 seconds on both sides. And the clear one only needs about 60 on both sides. And I believe that is all I had to do mold wise. So I'm gonna keep this out just in case it didn't come out the way that I wanted. Just in case. Never know. Meanwhile, we can be making our meat, well, at least our spaghetti. You get something to put this on for when it goes in the lamp. It's good to go. I'll have to try and transfer it. Now this is clay, UV clay. This is what I'm going to make my spaghetti out of. Although, you know, now that I think about it, I probably should make this on the plate, because I'm going to have to lay it down. So, actually, and we should make the meatballs on the plate too. So, meantime, these are done. Take out our frame. That is really in there, apparently. There we go. Clearly, oh, yeah, it sits on the nail. We're gonna have to paint that. So that goes off to the side. And we are done with that one. Now we get our croissant. Cute little croissant. That came out good, so we're done with that. Put it back in its case. And our dishes here. One side of the cup, it has a crack on it because it didn't fill it up. And the handle didn't fill on that one, so I'll have to redo that. That's fine. Let's check out our plate. Plate is good to go. That's what I needed right now. So we'll go back and do the cups again. This is why I left this out, in case I need to do it again. And these cups are all about the same. I'm going to try this one. Alright, come over here. Try to make sure I get the rim of the cup better this time. And the bottom. And the handle. And then fill it up. Make sure I fill them up enough. I'll try that again. If she doesn't work this time, I have a different mold, but the cup doesn't sit up, so we'll just have to see. I know it's not an espresso cup, but it's close enough. Meantime, we can start building our plate of spaghetti and meatballs. Do not use your hands like I'm doing. So I'm gonna do the spaghetti. And then put the sauce on it. Ruh-roh. Oh, that pulled apart. trying. I think it's too thick. This gnat and this light is driving me crazy. When I get it, I'm gonna kill it. Okay, I think that's good enough. This has black on it, so I'm throwing that. So I'm gonna cure that. Put some red sauce on it and then some meatballs. Cure that. Now let's hope these cups came out right. Because I still haven't put my second coat of peel off on. Oh, it's a different shaped cup. I was wondering why they had so many of the same cup imprints here. But everything's fine with it. Please be good with this side. Come on. Close enough. Now I need to glue these together to make us a cup that can stand up like that. So we're done with our mold. And now it can be put up too. I suppose maybe some nail gel would be okay. You know, glue. But I need something to stick it to make sure it stays in place until I can cure it. There we go. Put us a little bit of glue on here. Smear it. And cross our fingers. Get our tweezers and our flash clear light. Okay. Even though it's a half a cup, it's not exactly round. But who's to say it isn't a fancy cup that's oval? See, not round, but that's okay. That's how it's going in the lamp for a full cure. All right, now this needs some spaghetti sauce. Close enough. This isn't quite looking like spaghetti to me. Maybe when I put the meatballs on. All right, cup's all cured. I guess I'll leave it on there while I put the brown on top. Because it is coffee. After all, I'm not painting the cup other than clear at the end because it's just a white cup. All right, now our meatballs. And once I've got them, you know, cured to that, then I'll decorate them and, you know, brown them, if you will. And then cure them again. This is the color. This is nude. I will be flash curing it as I go, because it does self-level. Quicker than most. Not super quick, but quick enough I want to flash cure it. Again, don't touch this with your hands. You should not be touching uncured gel products, even if it's TPO and HEMA free. It's just a no-no. You can still get an allergy if it's HEMA free and TPO free. It's just a little harder to get the allergy, but it can still happen. Now I'm going to cure that. Just have to cure everything before and make everything before we're ready for the rest of it. Now I need to go ahead and put my second coat of peel off base coat on, because Because let's face it, it works. Why fix it if it works? Don't fix it if it ain't broke. That's how the country folks say it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All that good stuff. Alright, we're done with our peel off base coat. Just wait for it to dry. Now these are dry. Now we can get to decorating. I am just going to use the same liner gel. I'm going to put a little on each one. I don't want it super thick. I had to keep wiping all the excess off. Now we need to get a hold of our croissant, and she needs to be painted. She is quite bland looking right now, and she needs to be a brown color, like a tan and then like a golden brown. So we're gonna try that. I'm gonna paint it this color, and then I'm gonna accent it with the brown, a thin amount of this color. Okay, I'm gonna cure this and come back and put my brown pieces on, brown parts. And I keep touching everything with this on, but that's okay. Our meatballs and spaghetti are done. Gonna have to paint that frame while it's on the nails. So after we do the brown on this croissant, and we're pretty well just waiting on them pretty much. this to dry so we can begin. Alright, let's put us some brown on here. This is a solid gel, so you don't need a bunch. Not if you're just trying to accent things like this. Alright, fully cure that. And now it's done. So when these dry, we'll come back. Oh no, you know what? I forgot. You gotta put a little white swirly thing in this. That's right. So I'm going to use that same brush with some white liner. And here we go. Cute enough for me. Okay, hotties, we're starting out with matte top coat on all the nails because I want to make sure that that peel off base coat is stable before I start messing and using foils and everything else. I'm just doing a thin layer. This is my Tub O Russian matte top that is chrome resistant. And you know, I've been trying to get this Russian matte top coat when they had it in the regular size bottles. And I just didn't want to pay $3 shipping per bottle. But when I saw it in this, I was like, okay, now that's worth it. And it came and it was the right thing, which made it even better. But I'm looking for me a new lamp. I've got 2 lamps, but I like to rotate them. And it has to be rechargeable. That's what I got the Melody Susie one for. But it's just not it. It's not curing all the way on certain nails and stuff, and I can't have that. So, new plan. And I did paint the frame gold. So, that's painted too now. So all my little charms that I made are painted and ready to go. All they're gonna need is a top coat when it's done. And we just need to decorate our nails with the 2 pinks. I'm going to do like a pink marbling moment, and that's going to be the theme through the nails, is that peach hard gel, and then the light pink and fuchsia pink marbled. I think that'll look cutesy because, like I said, Paris, love, food, sights, art. I mean, the Louvre is it is the biggest museum in the world. And you need croissants, the Eiffel Tower. Oh, and did you know that Paris only has one official stop sign in the city, because the rest of them are just basically they stick to the right-of-way rule. But what do you do if everybody arrives at the same time? Just wait for somebody to be generous enough to say, okay, you go ahead, which is not likely here. And they also have catacombs under the entire city with over 6 million remains of people. The Louvre. The Louvre. If I were ever going to go to an art museum, I would want to go to the Louvre. Let's just be honest. But Paris has a lot of things in there. They're named the City of Light. And they were originally named the City of Light because they were it was around the time. But like I was saying before I got interrupted, it's called the City of Light because during the Age of Enlightenment, it was the major center of ideas, education. So that's why it was actually considered the City of Light. But later on, they said it was because of the street lights. So obviously, you know, they're one of the major capitals of fashion. And they're one of the major places that people want to go for vacation, wedding destinations, all of the above. And it's Paris that most people want to go to when they're going, you know, to Italy. Paris. So, you know, we got to kind of incorporate a little of all of that. So I thought this would be the best way. So first we're going to start with fashion. Fashion involves foils. So we're going to put our fashion right here. No, that needs to be, no, yeah, right there, because the thumb's going to be the food. So let's get our fashion right there. And the Russian mat coat in the background will work out great for this, because I intend on putting a little 3D art gel around these. To kind of encase it in. I want to use these. I wanted to use these, but the pink's too light on the nail. Where is it? I don't know. I think it'll get lost because of how light it is. I have other colors, but none of them are gonna really match. Maybe the red. You know what? I think I'll do the red. That will match. When I think of Paris, I also think of black and white, but I don't want a black and white set. So, I don't know. I think we'll try the red. I've decided the black is the best option here. So, we want some down here where I put the, oh. That's where we want it. This is our fashion nail, obviously. And then we have this one up here to do it too. No. Pulled that up too soon. There we go. Yeah, we'll fill it in with some black. Obvi. So. No, that's horrible. Oopsie. Let's get our liner brush. Okay, hear that. And naturally, because of that, I'm gonna have to go over it again, or at least those two areas, with a teeny tiny bit of matte top coat. You know what? I want the gold to match, so I'm just going to do it in the gold liner I painted that with. It's more like a vintage looking gold. So, get our liner brush out here. Clean it off. And we're going to outline our little stuff here, roughly. Hear that. And like I said, this is going to be our fashion nail. So this will be where the purse and the high heel are going. That's when we get to the sticker part. Well, I guess we kind of have to get to the sticker part so we can cure it so we won't get any alcohol on it by accident, because it'll take off the foil. So here's my purses, and these two purses are what I'm leaning towards I think we're going with this purse. And she's gonna go right here. I think we got a problem. There is a, uh-oh. Yeah, it's staying. And then we're gonna do this hot pink heel. I'm gonna have to be quick with this top coat. Because there's a dispersion layer on this gold liner that I put on there, and it's just, that part's not really sticking. Let's get that cured down and go over it again. Might need a second heel on there. So I'll leave this out till it comes out of the lamp. Yes, it needs a second heel. Use some alcohol to make sure I just get my oil off of there that I just wiped on there. It's gonna be the other pink heel. And it's going right there. And another top coat. Got some on my skin. Get that off. That's cured right there, so I'll be filing that. Give that a full 60-second cure. And our fashion nail is done. But you can't have pears without fashion. Come on. That's crazy. I think the next one we'll do is, it's going to be like a wallpaper background design, because it's going to be the Louvre, one of the famous paintings where that frame goes on. And if I'm not mistaken, the Louvre does actually have this particular painting, the Starry Night painting. So we want one that will fit in here. I've got several Starry Night ones I can choose from, parts of it. That one's not long enough. That one's long enough. I think I need to cut down the back of this, but yeah, I kind of do a little bit. But it's longer on the side so that it can go on there. But it's a little much, just a little much. Let's see now. Nope, needs a little more down. And what I'm gonna have to do is put the sticker on, put a top coat or a base coat, but I think I'll go with top coat. And then I gotta top coat this frame because, like I said, I never did top coat it. And it's just that same liner. So it's got a dispersing layer on it. I thought most liners didn't have one, but apparently they do. Okay. This one, this one, it's this one. Okay. Ooh, there's another one. It's the same thing. Here's the Starry Night I wanted, but the frame's too big for that. Alright. That's the food now. So you can be the picture frame now. Oh, crud. Nope, it's gotta come off. I forgot I gotta do the wallpaper. Good thing I got another one. Maybe this one will go in there anyways. We'll see when we get to it. Gotta get my liner brush. And my palette. Well, actually, no, I don't. What am I doing? Pardon me. All I need is my flat brush. This one. And I need to paint this now. All right. Now, I'm going to take this brush, get some alcohol on it, and I'm going to clean off where I don't want that design. And yes, it's all up in my cuticles. That's okay, I've got a cleanup brush for that. Yes, there's an easier way to do this, I'm sure. But I ain't doing it, clearly. Alright. Now I'm going to cure that. But that's the theme, the dark and the light pink swirled together. Okay, now I'm going to wipe off the dispersion layer of that pink so the sticker will stick properly. All right. Now we retry this. And we have to top coat it first. Now, I always wondered when other museums borrow works of art from other museums. First of all, how are they sure it's the real one? And second of all, how does that work, being that it's millions and billions of dollars worth of art? Aren't they afraid somebody's gonna like hijack that art? I'll take and we're gonna glue our picture frame on. This is probably not the easiest way to do it, but this is the way I'm gonna do it. I feel like this frame is just way up. Like, it's not working for me. It's not. So, frame's not happening. I don't like it. We can make our own frame. It's probably what these are for. I feel like it is, so it's gonna be. It's gonna be the frame today. I'm going for the same one. Well, now I could have used the whole Starry Night picture. Oh well. So we're on to food. Well, we're on to the spaghetti. I'm trying to think, what can I use that would look like Parmesan, but they use like fresh shaved Parmesan, so it isn't going to look like our little powdered Parmesan. But that's okay. Now we've got to, this is going to be the spaghetti. That's going to be the croissant and coffee. And that's going to be the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower has to be painted over, but we need our pink marble on these. And that's what we'll do next. Start with this. Let's try this a different way this time. Pink, or light pink anyways. Let's get this. There'd be an easier way. Good enough. I could have used blooming gel, but I didn't want to. That just adds even more layers. So let's not say we did. Missed a spot. And as we know, our plate of spaghetti is going to go on our thumb. Our spaghetti and meatballs. Spaghetti. And now for our spaghetti and meatballs. Most people don't put their glue on top of the top coat. I do because it's made to do that. If you, and it's, you know, it's non-stick, you know, it doesn't cure sticky. So I'm gonna flash cure this on here, and then I gotta get my fork in there. Our fork is in here. So let's get to our fork. Little bitty fork. And since we're in here already, we might as well go ahead and get our Eiffel Towers out. Or Eiffel Tower. And this is why I'm saving it for the pinky, because it's small. And the pinky's small. Use that same glue. And clearly this won't be staying on my nail, because how could it without being popped right off? Put some glue right there. I'm gonna stick it in right there. Flash cure it. And stick it in the lamp now. Well, you know what? Not yet. Let's go ahead and cover it with the top coat. Otherwise there's going to be hairs and stuff all stuck to it because of this uncured, well, this cured polish without a top coat. We want our plate shiny. And this fork will turn if you don't put any top coat on it. All right. Give it a 60-second cure. Then after we paint our last two nails with the marbling stuff, then we can go ahead and stick the coffee and croissant and the Eiffel Tower on with a couple little hearts around the Eiffel Tower, and I think we'll be done. Let's do our pink again. I think we'll actually come up here this time. Right here. Get our brush again. And that's all. Second cure again. And last but not least, and if anybody's wondering, this is Born Pretty. It does not have the, oh yes it does, Born Pretty BP43. I don't even know if they still have that. I've had it for a while. And then Melody Susie A1606. This came in a pastel set. This is a 7.5 ml bottle, and this is a 10 ml bottle. I was just trying to use it before it went out, expiration date wise. All right. Now, normally I glue it to the top. I'm not with the pinky because I have to paint over that gold with top coat so it doesn't discolor. And I'm only doing that because of the peel box. So when I peel it off, it can stay on there and be just fine. And it's leaning, so no, what am I talking about? That's not the Leaning Tower of Pisa, that's the Eiffel Tower. It does not lean. So I'm going to flash cure that in place. Okay, now we're going to do our top coat, and we're going to glue our croissant and coffee to the pointer finger, and then we will be all done. The only one that didn't get any pink and dark pink and light pink is this, but the pink is in the person that heals, so I feel like we're good there. Cure that for 60 seconds. Now, we used our plate for our spaghetti. Obviously, we need something to put our croissant on. So, I think we're going to cut a little square of these. A little square of this out. And put our croissant on it. Just a little napkin. So, let's get our napkin down here. And our cup up here. Here's our napkin. Here's our cup. Oh, come on, cup. You can do it. Flash cure that cup into place. And the napkin. And glue our croissant on. Again, this is just for fun, so these, I guess you could find a way to wear them. like everyday wear, I don't think that would be a smart idea. Carry that in the lamp. See if that croissant stuck. Finishing touches is some top coat on the croissant. And the cup. And here we are. I got our fashion nail with the heels and the furs, the Louvre, the Eiffel Tower. We've got our coffee and our croissant, our spaghetti and meatballs. I hope you liked my video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hope you have a wonderful day, week, night, month, year. Bye, my little hearties.